chat. Full name and birth. Yes, please write down, everyone who participates in the research, your full name, your date of birth, and your email address.
And phone number if possible.
Number if possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we'll have all of that. So Candice, you're good to go. So Nushin, you're going to scan Candice.
Okay, I can do that.
And the next one who is coming up. Are you all writing, I'm guessing? Okay, and Christine. Oh, no, and you're taking Candice and Vanessa, okay?
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay.
Yes, Candice and Vanessa. Nushin is going to scan you. And Christine, you scan yourself. And Jody and Diane. Perhaps we need a second name for Diane because we have two Dianes, don't we? No, we have only one Diane. So Diane, you have already participated in the past, huh? So it's not you. There was supposed to be another Diane, but she didn't come. Okay, great. So we don't have the other Diane for the moment. So Nima, you're going to scan Jody, okay?
Okay.
Great. So right now, please write in the chat what is your number when you're thinking about the one event we are going to neutralize today. So there is one person who is new, like Christine, you have never done it before, but what we're going to do is neutralize one specific event. So you need to have one event in mind. Could be a car accident, childhood trauma, a fight with someone. So choose one event and then think about it. And when you feel into it, what is your number right now from 0 to 10? What is your level of stress? So you're going to write it in the chat, okay? And it's 8, okay, thank you. 8. Judy, 10, all right. And we need Christine, and Christine, 7. Perfect, thank you. So now what you're going to do is get scans. So Christine, you're going to scan yourself while you're thinking about the event and you're feeling this number 7, okay? And Judy, you're going to be scanned by Nima.
I'm sorry, can I ask, what does it mean to scan myself? I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, yes. So,
Kristen, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
You too.
So we're asking for people that have the BioWell device to scan themselves. So this is a research that we're doing within our community. So we're doing a one scan before, one scan after, and then we kind of like compare and have a conversation on. So I'm going to scan you remotely.
Oh,
so
okay.
this is something that, yes, since you don't have a BioWell there, I'm going to connect you using this technology. We can even scan each other remotely.
Gotcha.
So then you're going to experience the session and the results. So it'd be a cool session for you as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Christine. So right now we are going to scan. So just be careful one after the other. There will be a connection with the person who is going to scan. You just have to chat a little bit with Nima or Nushin so that she can connect. Or we have a third person coming. We have Diane who's coming too. So if she wants to join. All right, so who is doing what?
I'm doing Candice.
You're doing Candice, okay. So Candice, you can
I have communicated with her already.
You're already connected? Oh, good.
Who did you want me to scan, Colette?
Jody.
Hi, Jody, how are you?
You have to open your
mic. Hi.
Hi, good to see you. Where are you joining us from, Jody?
The UK.
Oh, the UK. Fascinating. That's so amazing. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Are you an energy practitioner or are you just here enjoying the session? What do you do in the UK?
I'm studying to be a mat practitioner. I'm a magnetic mind coach. I've done Reiki, I've done energy healing. I recently worked with conscious technology.
Okay, fascinating.
Yeah, like light language and that.
Wow.
And
Right.
yeah, yeah.
You should definitely join our community. And we have different types of events that would be amazing to have you since you have these the specialties. So thank you so much. Do I have permission to scan you remotely? Thank you. So I'm going to get some information from you to create your profile here.
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat. Okay.
Yes, everyone.
Hi,
Please-
Vinita. My name is Nushin. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Nushin. Great, yourself?
I'm in Houston. Where are you?
India.
Oh, wow. India. Wow.
Yeah.
That's on my bucket
Yeah.
list.
Oh, you should definitely visit one
Yeah,
day.
definitely. I'll come with my bio.
It will be
So,
interesting.
yeah, definitely. We can also measure the energy of the space with bio. So, do I have your permission to scan you?
Yes.
Okay, just relax as I connect with
And think about the event with
you.
the
Yes,
emotion.
thank you.
That's what I forgot to say. Hopefully, Jody, you were on it too. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, who's the second person for me?
It's Christine.
Okay, let me grab your information real quick. I already have you in my system, Kristen. Kristen, do I have your permission to scan you remotely?
Yes.
Think about the event. Diane Bone, you can write your name if you want to participate. I think we can get you in. So answer the questions up there on the chat. Just go and see the examples.
I think since I got in a little bit late, I don't have anything in the chat.
Ah, that's true. So you need your name, your date of birth, your email, and your phone number.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, and was it a different person? Thank you, Kristen.
Yes, that's it. So if you could do a third one, Nima,
Okay.
it's going to be Diane. She's writing in the chat her information. Yes, perfect. And Diane, what is your number when you think about the event? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Diane, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. Welcome. Welcome to our map session here tonight. Where are you joining us from?
I am in Logan, Utah, in northern Utah.
Logan, Utah. Very nice. And what do you do there? Are you an energy practitioner or any kind of a practitioner?
Yeah, so I'm a map practitioner and I do a lot of somatic work, EFT, trauma informed, love the psychology behind it. Really focus on childhood trauma and helping people let go of those limiting beliefs and regain their freedom to live their lives. So
I love it. I love it. Well, it's great to have you here.
thanks.
I'm Nima. I'm the founder of GaiaHealers. And do I have your permission today to do a scan remotely?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. And please think on about that emotion. Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
Fantastic. Thank you, Nima and Nushin, for being here today and helping. So what we're going to do is a little bit more training, especially that we have someone new here that's not been doing maps. So we're going to train parts of your brain, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, all of it, so that you can then benefit from a map session. So it begins with a little video of about 11 minutes, and then a little bit more mini training, and then we'll do the session. And the session will be mainly you bring up the event, and you will be just observing. So I will let you know a little more of what to do during the session, but it's very simple and very easy. So let's begin with the training. and it's about 11 minutes. So for those of you who have already watched it, it's okay. You can do it again. Enjoy.
In this first drawing, you see an iceberg. We're using it as a metaphor representing the conscious and unconscious mind. Notice that the unconscious mind is under the water, and it's also many times larger than the conscious mind. You can see ice fragments in the iceberg. In our metaphor, these fragments represent different aspects of your personality or different parts of you. Perhaps there's an aspect of you that desires success, and another part of you that's afraid of success. Or there's a part of you that wants to eat cookies and a part of you that wants to lose weight. These different aspects of our personality can create inner conflict and keep us stuck. Now, we've added a superconscious mind, an aspect of consciousness that can neutralize stressful or painful memories and beliefs on instruction. The main goal of this education process is to have all your parts or aspects of your personality want their trauma treated and neutralized gently, want their positive behaviors and qualities strengthened with positive emotions, want to work on a consensual basis to create safe treatment plans for each and every member of the treatment team, and finally, want to be integrated with the main personality. Now, in this drawing, you see a timeline from conception until now. Your superconscious mind has been present since conception and has learned the same language as you and those around you speak. This allows us to communicate easily using everyday language. However, since this aspect of consciousness learns language without any sensory experience or emotion attached to it, it's not affected or harmed by stressful or painful experiences. There are 3 types of memory. Memory 1 develops while the fetus is in the womb. This memory consists of simple neurostructures or basic connections that are being created at that time. Memory 2 begins to develop a little bit before birth and keeps developing until the age of 4. Healthy and unhealthy core traits of the personality are formed in it. These traits are learned from our parents, siblings, and other influential people in our lives. Memory 3 starts to develop shortly before birth and continues until now. We start learning in the womb and continue to learn all our lives. Memories that are used to create our main personality are selected from memory 3. Learning is, in fact, the creation of memories. A collage of learned memories runs our emotions, behaviors, thoughts, and experiences. Now, let's have a closer look at memory 3. Memory 3 consists of active memories and dormant memories. Active memories are used to create our perception, our behavior, our thoughts. They dictate how we interpret and react to the world around us. Dormant memories are outside in the water in our metaphor. This is where all the memories you have are when you're not having them. Dormant or inactive memories are most of the memories we have. Now let me give you an example of a dormant memory. I'm going to ask you a question. Notice that since I didn't ask you the question, you don't know what the answer is. In other words, the answer or the dormant memory was not triggered. Now, how about if I ask you, when was the last time you rode your bike? Notice that you scan memory 3 and the answer gets triggered into your awareness by the question. So you can see that when we trigger a dormant memory, it pops into our active experience. The dormant memory can be awakened or triggered into activity by what we perceive with our senses and by basic needs such as hunger, love, and safety. Let's look at how thoughts and behaviors are formed. The active experience, represented by the iceberg, contains all the triggered active memories and physiological responses that you're having in that moment. It includes what we see, hear, feel, taste, and all of our body's senses and functions, like heartbeat, immune system, and so forth. All of this is influencing our thoughts and behaviors. When a situation changes, the active experience will wake up or create a new collage of active memories to form our next behavior or response. What's interesting to understand is that the creation of behavior is a recurrent process. Our last response is the basis for our next response, which changes in response to what's happening. For example, think of when a small child is learning to feed themselves. When they're first given a spoon, they'll likely miss their mouth the first time, but with repeated tries, the spoon will eventually make it to their target. It's through this recurrent process a child eventually learns how to hold the utensil correctly and how to reach the mouth each and every time. Each behavior has a unique memory structure, and we're constantly changing and amassing new memories and using them as a basis for our future responses. This is how our brain continues to learn and grow. It's important to know this because we have to wake up or activate some aspect of a dormant memory for superconscious to see and neutralize the stress attached to the memory. The superconscious cannot see or treat dormant memories if there's not at least a small amount in the active experience. Now, please notice the dividing line, which is being labeled the dissociation process. This is the line between the conscious and unconscious activity in our mind. Its job is to move information that's not needed in the conscious into the activity of the unconscious mind. It's still active here, unlike a dormant memory. It's contributing to our perception and the creation of our behavior. It's just no longer conscious. Some dissociated behaviors are skills, like all the nuances involved in driving, for example. You're not aware of them, they simply become an unconscious competence. You're on automatic. We can recognize the dissociation process helps simplify the content of our minds, allowing us to be better focused and more effective in our lives. The association process is found at the border of the iceberg, as seen here. When there's a situation calling for a new behavior or response, it's the association process that allows memories to be triggered into the active experience. The association process selects what it believes are the most fitting memories. If we have a poorly tuned association process or one that's damaged by trauma, we might find ourselves reactive or easily distracted. Superconscious mind can work with the association process to help keep the neutralization process gentle and help keep you centered and focused on your goals. In order to neutralize stressful and painful memories, we simply activate a memory or event associated with it and instruct the superconscious mind to neutralize the emotion at a rate that's safe and comfortable. Now, I will explain how severe trauma causes trauma parts and how the superconscious mind can easily address those too. We know that we can remember some traumas. For example, if you fall off your bike and go to the hospital, you can come home and tell everyone what happened. However, when the trauma causes extreme emotions, for example, a car accident, and at the same time there's no learned memories or previous experience to know the behavior and how to handle the situation, an amnesic or trauma part can be formed. Remember that we use former memories from our experience to build our next behavior. In this case, there's no learned memories to manage the situation. The intense emotion mobilizes memories independent of the main personality to create a survival response. Because the main personality is not generating the behavior, it's rapidly pushed out of the active experience and becomes inactive or dormant. Think of a pool ball hitting a cue ball. At this point, a trauma part is formed. This trauma part has an executive function that organizes and creates survival behavior. It can decide, plan, and problem solve, making it similar to your main personality, but with less experience. It takes on an autobiographical memory that will preserve what happened during the trauma. When the trauma ends, the main personality rushes back in, rapidly becoming active and pushes the trauma part out of the active experience, rendering it dormant. Later in life, when a similar situation occurs, the trauma emotion will be triggered again. Because this push in and out of the active experience happens very quickly, there are very few associations between the main personality and the trauma part. These trauma parts can even be amnesic, where the main personality and the trauma part are like strangers who don't know each other. Think of an accident victim that wakes up in the hospital several days after a car accident and doesn't remember what happened. Looking at this drawing now, you can see a bump in the timeline of the main personality. This represents the trauma, creating the trauma part. The challenge with having a trauma part is that the emotions from these parts can be triggered into the active experience when it's not relevant or helpful. And this can distort your day-to-day life. Triggered trauma parts can affect both your conscious and unconscious experience, influencing your perception and behavior in ways that can leave you feeling like you have no control. These responses can lead to less happiness and more pain, but it can also put you or someone else in danger. Getting more satisfaction and having less pain is the main reason for treating and integrating parts. The superconscious can treat or heal trauma parts. It does this by removing the negative emotions and pain from the trauma and replacing them with neutral or positive emotions. It then strengthens their positive coping skills with positive emotions before joining them with the main personality. It's important to know that parts don't die and they don't lose information. They simply exchange information with the main personality. The part's memory becomes exactly the same as the main personality, and they can run the body at the same time without conflict. For example, the 4-year-old who wants a cookie and the adult who wants to lose weight. will have the same memory and no conflicts. The parts will not be motivated to get a cookie, and the adult will not have to deal with that struggle. In case the treatment of big, intense pain worries some parts, I'll explain how big pain is treated. The trauma part works with the superconscious to bring just a small amount of it into the active experience. It puts just a little stress into the active experience, like a little toe on the iceberg. The members of the treatment team will adjust the rate of treatment until all members are comfortable. 5 units of pain would be just a little of the trauma time, so we can treat 5, 3, 1, or half a unit. Whatever the treatment team decides would be most beneficial to everyone on the team. The superconscious will treat a few units and then stop and rest, waiting till the part has stabilized again before neutralizing some more. This ensures the trauma part won't destabilize and flood emotions into the conscious experience. This is how superconscious will do it, so it's very gentle and often completely painless. We repeat the process of treat, rest, until we've treated all the emotional pain associated with the part during the trauma. For all the parts that want to join the treatment team, please do so now.
All right, beautiful. So now we have a little more training, and then, so what happens today is, because we're doing research, we're giving minimum information. So normally, I spend an hour in my workshop to explain map and a story. So if you want to know more, you can always go into the workshop and do more. But right now, we kind of plunged into that. For those who are mappers, it's not an issue. But Christine, I know you're new, so that's okay. As I said, if you want more information, we can help you with that. So there will be a little more training, a few more sentences here that I'm going to give you, and then we'll begin neutralizing that one memory using the superconscious, and I will explain a little bit how to do that. So first of all, let's take a breath in and out. And you can close your eyes, and you don't have to remember anything. So now I want to ask all your parts to join the treatment team. By joining the treatment team, you will all want your trauma treated, want your positive skills strengthened, want to work in consensus, and want to join with the main personality. Then you will help make a treatment plan for each member, which will be approved of by agreement of all members. 100% agreement is necessary to accept treatment plans. All the parts that want to join the treatment team, please do so now. Superconscious, imagine the brain is a soccer field, a smooth playing field with no bumps. When the phobia, negative belief, painful memory, or part becomes active and moves onto the playing field, gopher holes pop up in a particular sequence. Gophers are animals that burrow underground and push to the surface, leaving mounds of dirt. You can treat the emotion by remembering the sequence of gopher holes and gradually smoothing the dirt over each hole a little at a time with a feather in the remembered sequence repeatedly until the gopher holes disappear. Superconscious, now you understand how to diagnose and treat a painful memory. Very good. So now what we're going to do is a session, a map introductory session. And the idea is that you're going to bring your event to the surface of your consciousness. That's why you need an event for today. Just remembering, for example, the car accident. And if it's a 10, I mean, you don't have to bring everything, but just, enough for your subconscious to know what to work on. And then the most important is you are going to observe, like a little bird on your shoulder, if you want. You're going to be the observer. You're not going to be lost in the event, forgetting even about Colette. You're going to bring the event up, feel the emotions, be aware, but stay aware. There is a part of you that is the observer, and it's noticing what is happening. Just notice, your breath. Perhaps something will happen in your body. Perhaps you will have what I call the Google search. That means you have plenty, you're superconscious is searching for associated memories, and they pop into your consciousness like popcorn, like you remember something and something. And that's okay. You can go a little bit with those. And then you come back to the one we are neutralizing today and measuring. So mainly you're just the observer. Do not get into the mind in terms of asking questions. What is she doing? How is she doing that? You have to absolutely stop the thinking because that gets you into a beta brainwave that stops the healing. So all you do, bring up the event and notice the difference. On every few minutes, I'm going to ask you to notice what is the difference. So let's begin. Close your eyes, everyone, and bring up your event and stay aware. So superconscious, do you see this event? If you see this event and can safely treat it, please treat it and do a massive change history and everything as needed. And take a deep breath. And superconscious would like you to treat any beliefs, emotions, memories, parts, events, circumstances that are coming into the active experience. I want you to treat them all in the perfect order and do a massive change history and everything as needed. And superconscious, I would like you to treat the first chakra at the base of the spine. Anything related to safety, security, family, betrayal, belonging, financial situation, any other beliefs, emotions, memories, or parts that might be challenging the balance of the first chakra. Treat them all in the perfect order and do a massive change history and everything as needed. And superconscious, I want you to cut any cords, any attachment to the first chakra and go deeper into family history and past lives, anything that might affect the balance of the first chakra. Treat all those memories and do a massive change history and everything after that. And take another deep breath. And superconscious, I would like you to treat all the parts that want treatment and communicate with the parts who don't know yet if they want treatment. And when they do want treatment, treat them all in the perfect order with total respect. Take another deep breath. Superconscious, I would like you to keep treating the first center of energy, this beautiful red chakra. Keep eliminating or neutralizing any clouds in that chakra, any energy that is still there, clouding that center. And I want you to go up into the second chakra, just under the navel, both front and back. Anything related to sexuality, sensuality, creativity, energy, any other beliefs, emotions, memories, or parts that might be challenging the balance of the second chakra. Treat them all in the perfect order and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Take another deep breath. Keep disconnecting and cutting any cords attached to that second chakra, going deeper into family history and different timelines and past lives connected or affecting the balance of the second center. Treat them all in the perfect order and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Take another deep breath. Now I would like everyone to become aware, just notice what is different. Your number might have already gone down a little bit, or it might go up if you have a lot of Google search, a lot of multitasking going on with the superconscious. So don't judge, just notice what is different. Perhaps you had all those memories pop in, perhaps something in your body or your breath. Just be aware. So superconscious, I want you to keep treating the first center and the second center of energy. And I want you to treat all the parts that want treatment and communicate with the parts who don't know yet if they want treatment. And when they do want treatment, treat them all in the perfect order with total respect. Take another super conscious. I would like you to go up in the chakra system from the first center, go up into the second center, and now into the third center, the solar plexus, both front and back. Anything related to self-esteem, self-confidence, self-empowerment, any other beliefs, emotions, memories, or parts that might be challenging the balance of the solar plexus. Treat them all in the perfect order and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Conscious keep also going back in time, family history, and also different past lives that might affect the third chakra. Treat them all in the perfect order and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Conscious keep treating all the parts that want treatment, and also keep disconnecting the third chakra from any cords attached to that center, and do a massive change history and everything as needed. And super conscious, I want you to go back in time as far back as needed in this lifetime or any other lifetimes. And I want you to find the very first lifetime where something similar happened in the entire story of the soul. I want you to treat that first lifetime and treat every single other lifetimes down to this present lifetime, right here, right now. Treat them all in the perfect order and do a massive change history and everything as needed. And super conscious, I want you to keep going back in time. And now I would like you to go up the family tree, both mother side and father side. I want you to find the first generation where something similar happened in the entire family tree. I want you to treat that first generation and treat every single other generations down to this present generation right here, right now. Treat them all in the perfect order and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Take another deep breath. Conscious, keep treating all the parts that want treatment and communicate with the parts who don't know yet if they want treatment. And when they do want treatment, treat them all in the perfect order with total respect. Another deep breath. And I would like for you to become aware now and just notice what is different, what has changed. Your number might have changed, your intensity might have different physical sensations or memories popping in. Just notice what is different. And superconscious, I want you to keep treating the first center, second, third, and now go up into the heart center, the heart chakra, both front and back. Anything related to self-love, self-compassion, self-forgiveness, and also love, compassion, and forgiveness for others. I want you to treat any beliefs, emotions, memories, or parts that might be challenging the balance, the heart center. Treat them all in the perfect order and do a massive change history and everything as needed. And take a deep breath. Keep treating all the parts that want treatment and communicate with the parts who don't know yet if they want treatment. And when they do want treatment, treat them all in the perfect order with total respect. And superconscious, I would like you to treat the emotions in the emotion system. I want you to please identify all the collages of negative emotions, such as feelings of fear, dread, anger, rage, sadness, grief, shock, guilt, shame, or any other emotion in the emotion system, and treat the collages in the correct order. Treat the first collage, then follow the associations to the memory elements in memory 2 and 3, and treat each memory element in the correct order. When finished, do a massive change history and everything, and repeat this procedure for each negative emotion collage in the emotion system. Take another deep breath. And subconscious, keep treating all the parts that want treatment and communicate to the parts who don't want treatment. And when they do want treatment, treat them all in the perfect order with total respect. Take another deep breath. And subconscious, I would like you to go from the heart center now up into the throat chakra, both front and back. Anything related to communication, telling your truth, expressing yourself, unfinished communication, negative self-talk, any other somatic memories in the jaw, in the neck, in the shoulders, all along the spine, in the nervous system, and treat any memories in the perfect order and do a massive change history and everything as needed. And take a deep breath. Now I would like you to go up into the sixth chakra, the center of the forehead, and open that center, clearing any blocks to the ability to have vision, to be connected and inspired, guided, clarity. Clear any blocks in the sixth chakra and do a massive change history and everything as needed. And then go up into the seventh chakra and open that center, the crown chakra. Treat any blocks to the opening and the balancing of the seventh chakra. And let this waterfall from the universe, this radiant energy flowing down and down from the universe down into the seventh chakra, cleansing, healing, harmonizing, going down now deeper into the brain, into the sixth chakra, cleansing and harmonizing, down into the throat chakra, healing, harmonizing the throat chakra, down into the heart center, healing and harmonizing the heart center, down into the solar plexus, this radiant, loving, healing energy, cleansing and harmonizing the solar plexus, down into the belly, second chakra, cleansing, healing, harmonizing, down into the first chakra, healing, balancing, harmonizing, and down through the legs into the earth, letting that energy be grounded and do a massive change history and everything after that. And take a deep breath. Now I would like everyone to reassess where you are. Just notice what is your number, what is different, what has changed. You may have felt some physical sensations, or your breath is different, the image, the memory, other memories popping in, whatever is there, just notice. And now, subconscious, I would like you to keep treating and balancing now the 5 elements of the Chinese medicine. I want you to treat the fire element to balance and heal the heart and small intestine meridians. Anything related to abandonment, betrayal, lost, love unreceived, effort unreceived, heartache, insecurity, vulnerability. Keep balancing and harmonizing the fire element and do a massive change history and everything as needed. And take a deep breath. And now include the water element, the kidney and bladder meridians. Anything related to blaming, dread, fear, horror, humiliation, conflict, terror. shame, shock, unworthiness. Keep balancing and harmonizing the water element and do a massive change history and everything is needed. And take a deep breath. Now include the earth element, the spleen and stomach meridians. Anything related to anxiety, disgust, worry, failure, helplessness, hopelessness, lack of control, low self-esteem. Keep balancing and harmonizing the earth element and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Take another deep breath. Superconscious include now the metal element, the long and large intestine meridians. I want you to treat anything related to crying, discouragement, rejection, sadness, sorrow, confusion, grief, stubbornness. Keep balancing and harmonizing the metal element and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Take a deep breath. Now include the wood element, the liver and gallbladder meridians. Anything related to anger, bitterness, guilt, hatred, resentment, depression, frustration, panic, taken for granted. Keep balancing and harmonizing the wood element and do a massive change history and everything as needed. And take a deep breath. Superconscious, keep treating all the parts that want treatment and communicate with the parts who don't know yet if they want treatment. And when they do want treatment, treat them all in the perfect order with total respect. Superconscious, I want you to keep treating all the parts and keep balancing the 5 elements of the Chinese medicine, balance all of them in perfect harmony and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Take another deep breath. I would like everyone to reassess where you are now. What is your number? What is happening? How are you feeling? Notice the difference. And now we're going to do the last round here. Superconscious, I want you to keep treating all the chakra system, all the memories in the emotion system. Balance the 5 elements, go back in time as needed, and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Take a deep breath. Now, for those of you who are at a 5 or below 5, I want to encourage you to use the magic wand. With the magic wand, you can go back in time to that very specific event and change anything you want to change. You see, the brain doesn't know the difference. So it is the perfect moment to bring it an alternative. You can bring someone else on the scene. You can say, see, do something else. You can have someone else, the other person, see, do, say something else. You can also bring a spiritual being with you to support you. You can transform the other person in a cartoon character. If you were frozen due to trauma in childhood, that's when I can encourage you now to actually complete the action you wanted to take at the time. The goal here is to fulfill the core needs that were not met at the time. If you needed to feel safe and secure, to feel loved and cared for, to be seen and heard, acknowledged, appreciated, supported. Whatever you needed at the time, you can give it to yourself now, and the superconscious will reinforce this new memory and do a massive change history and everything as needed. Take a deep breath. Superconscious, please do a massive change history and everything as needed, including memories in memory 1, 2, and 3. Any other memories in any other system, including tender memories, shadow memories, all levels of physiology, energy system, cellular memories, DNA, different timelines, family history, and all dimensions of consciousness. Superconscious, please ground the memories we have touched today and reconnect them with the matrix of the universe. Take another deep breath. And this will conclude the introductory session for your brain today. I'm going to take a breath. Please write in the chat what is your first number and your last number for those who participated in the research. And then you're going to be tested again. And Diane, if you want. Right. So, Nushin, you're going to do again your 2 people.
Candice and Vinit. Yes.
Yes. So you can begin.
Candice, do I have permission to rescan you?
And again, think about the event now.
I'll do Joanne first. Joanne, do I have your permission to do yours after scan?
You do Jody, do you?
Yes, Judy, but her, I
Yes.
guess the name that we put in was wrong.
Yes, Jody, actually. You have Jody Lovey.
Judy, you were muted, so I couldn't hear you. I just want to make sure I have your permission.
Hello.
Do I have your permission to scan you again?
Yeah, yes.
Awesome. And is it Joanne or is it Jody? Because I know you put 2 different names on there.
It's Jody. It's Jody.
It's Jody.
Keep thinking about the event.
Okay, I have completed Candice's scan. Vanita, do I have permission to rescan you? Please keep thinking about your event.
Kristen, do I have your permission to scan you again?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have
And I have
Diane.
Diane. Diane, do I have your permission to scan you remotely?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I have completed both scans and sent them to Nima.
Thank you. We need the form. For those who have been scanned, you can fill up the form in the chat. And let me know when you're done.
Okay, I'm done.
Beautiful. So everyone's filling up the form now, please. And when you're done, put yes in the chat.
Nima, would you please check and see whether you received Candice and Vanita's scans?
I see Vanetta and Candace. Yes, I see them.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Did you add them to the research or should I add it myself?
Please add it yourself. Yeah.
Okay, so
for
I can create the
for
customer
Gaia
account.
practitioner. Yes, yes, you do it.
Oh, Diane, do you want to do it again? You were this during the second scan, she was not thinking about it. Nima, are you okay to do it again for Diane?
For Diane?
Yeah,
Sorry.
she said.
Distracted, and then I like jumped to the form, and then I just was not. I forgot to focus on the event. I don't know if that messes it up, your results for the scan. So.
Oh yes, definitely. So
Yeah, we can rescan. That's no problem.
So think about the event only until it's done, and then you'll do the form after that. Good, you told it.
For some reason, the ones that you scan are not coming in my system. So I guess we can't really add those in right now.
I'm sorry, the scans I sent you, you're not getting?
Yeah, it's not showing up in my software. I think my software is connected to the scans that I'm doing personally, not the ones that I'm receiving. So I think that's so I mean we have enough. We have a few 3 people that I did, so we can add those in.
And you do need, can you do Diane again, Nima?
Yes, I'm going to do Diane again right now.
Yes.
Diane, are you ready? Are you thinking about event?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, perfect. Got it.
All right. Great. And now, Diane, you can do the form.
That's funny. The two scans that I did for Diane, you can kind of see how it was coming into balance, and as she started thinking, poof, it started going out again. But I mean, not to that degree, but it's interesting to see.
Mm. All right. So, Nima, really, you cannot add those two from Nushin for a reason? I mean, the other
For some reason, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how we can add those in later, but it's not coming up in my like when I go to add a customer for some, it's not coming up in my system because I didn't do the scan.
So I'll keep them in my firewall and let me know if I need to resend. Usually it doesn't let me to resend, but
No, I have the scans and the receipt.
but you can't do it to
But
Gaia.
yeah.
Okay.
But for some, yeah, because I didn't scan them myself, it's not pulling it into Gaia practitioners for research.
Okay.
All right. So
Because I think in the past when you did it, you had an account in Gaia practitioner, so you could like add them in. I think that's what we're adding yours in.
Yeah, if you couldn't
Cool.
fix that, let me know and I'll add it to my Gaia practitioner.
Okay, perfect. So are we ready to go over the scans a little bit?
yes, that would be great. So, which
Okay.
one do you want to begin with? And
So just to quickly introduce myself and let you guys know a little bit about what we're doing here. I usually do this when we begin, but we're kind of getting started, so I waited a little bit for the right time. So what we're doing with BioWell is a technology that based on quantum physics. So we're measuring the photons that are being emitted from our bodies, from the within our vicinities. So what this technology measures is measuring the communication between cells, and that communication is happening in a photonic way. So then it's kind of like we're eavesdropping to understand what's happening within the body without actually overtaking the entire system and manifesting the system on a physical level. So the information that we pick up with the BioWell is more a representation of your emotional body, before manifestation into the physical. So anything that we go over today and I talk to you about, I don't want you to be, worried about anything. These are just, amazing information for you to have so you can change some, maybe the way that your posture is or your diet is or some few things. So then down the line, you're not running into issues like that. So there's no reason to be stressed at all. These are just to give you some heads up so that you can be more preventative in your life and move towards the journey of wellness instead of waiting until, God forbid, there are symptoms that are appearing in your system. So I'm going to share my screen, and the way that the science works is that we usually like scan the tip of the 10 fingers, but because energy is something that's weightless, there's a whole other type of like physics for it, which is called quantum physics. For anything that has weight, we have the Newtonian physics that we can calculate. For example, if I grab a ball that has this much weight and I throw it with this much force, then we can actually calculate exactly what that ball is going to drop because the effect of gravity on that object. But once we talk about objects that are intangible and they're weightless, like a neutron or a proton or energy or like things like that the regular quantum physics, the regular Newtonian physics formulations, they don't apply to them anymore. So for example, if you take a feather and if you want to throw the feather, because the feather, it still has a little bit of weight, but it's almost weightless. And for that reason, when you throw it, there's no way that you can actually calculate to see like where is the feather going to land. One time it goes this way, one time it goes that way, up, down. So those are the things that we can through quantum physics. There's different characteristics. So non-locality and entanglement are two of the major characteristics of quantum physics that we use in order to do remote scans. So because we are all energetic beings, But because of the limitations on our vision, we can, we see ourselves as, these solid things. But in reality, we're trillions of cells that are vibrating in different frequencies. So we are all energetic beings. And since energy is a quantum field, then the same thing, non-locality can apply. Just for example, what we're doing right now. We're sitting here, we're having a conversation on Zoom. You guys are in all different parts of the world. But as soon as I speak, you can feel the energy of my words. If I say something that's uplifting you, you feel that energy and you smile. And if I say something that doesn't resonate with you, then it may, kind of like take that energy a little bit lower, right? So right now we are experiencing quantum physics. So that's why I was asking you guys if I can have a conversation with you quickly, because we're already entangled to begin with, because we're all from the same source. But if I have a conversation with you and once we exchange a little bit of information, personal information, that even increases that entanglement. So then we become closer. Now, what did you guys use when you came to Zoom here? You all had a link. The link had a password that you click on there, and you had permission to come into this meeting for the exchange of energy here. And that's exactly the same way that we asked you for your permission, and we asked you if we're allowed to connect to your field and to make a measurement. And by your permission, that connection got established. So then, I became a surrogate myself, that I connect to your field. And based on your permission, when I scan myself, the information looks different than when I scan, me without connecting myself to a different person. And I've been doing this for over 4 years now. And I have hundreds of cases of all around the world with many testimonies of people that are just blown away. That how is that possible? And the only way that's possible because we're all one. And once we can wrap our head around that, then that becomes super easy to understand how all of this works. And we're just, different versions of each other. And with our intention, which is our most powerful tool that we have, we can connect. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go over some of the before and afters that I did to see, how it resonates with the information that you actually felt and you went through. So let's go to BioWell. May I have permission to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is my BioWell software here. Let me go here and clear my field. Oh, there's Kristen's. And when we come to, let's go to Diane, since we did a couple of scans, it was kind of cool to see. So this was Diane's before. Okay, and Diane, are you sure you were actually thinking about the emotion that happened when we did your scan on the before?
Open your mic. You can open your mic if you
can't
want.
hear you.
Yeah. Sorry, my internet's kind of being cruddy. So sorry, what did you say?
That happens. I'm just asking you if you were thinking about the emotion when I scanned you before the session started.
Yeah, I was.
Was this something related to your heart, your feelings, or something like that you were experiencing? Some emotion that was related to you, or maybe let me go through some of these.
Yeah, so it's like a confusing and
So the heart and the first chakra, kind of.
Yeah, the heart is usually related to our sense of emotion, the way we process love.
Mm-hmm.
So that's usually when this is pulled this way, that tells me that it's almost like when we talk about energy and chakras, I know a lot of you guys are familiar with the topic, but just to quickly put it in simple terms so everybody is on the same page. When we're talking about chakras chakra means it's a word in Sanskrit, in a different language, that means wheel. And wheel is something that rotates. So these are our energy wheels that are rotating, and they when they're balanced, when they're aligned, these center line here, then that's when we are in complete coherence. When we're driving our cars, our cars have 4 wheels, and those wheels, when they're balanced, then our ride is very comfortable. But as soon as one of them goes out of balance and it starts not rotating the right way, then the entire car starts shaking. So it's kind of very similar for our system, that we have 7 major of these energy wheels. And if you look at your like city, you know, there's different power companies that they generate power for different sections of the state. So now these are like, if the entire body is a country, imagine, or if the entire body is like the state of Florida, then imagine that these chakras are like the different power companies that are sending power to different cities. Okay. Now imagine our home. You know, in our home we have like a fuse box that if there's too much energy that's coming into our house, like there's a lightning or something, that, you know, too much energy can burn out all of our appliances within our home, right? So that's why they put a fuse box that usually the power goes through the fuse box. And if it's the right amount of power, then it goes into the home so that it doesn't damage appliances. And that's why sometimes when there's a lightning outside, we see that like one of the fuses will pop. And the reason for that is that the energy that was coming in was so much that the fuse, the wire that was there, it gets automatically burns when it's too much energy, because energy is heat. So that would just like burn it out, and then it will disconnect the power so that, you know, your entire home doesn't get affected. Our system exactly is the same way. So when we are thinking of an emotion that is really uncomfortable for us, it's going to really like influence that heart center, that love center, the experiences that we have had that's been related to love and care. Then this pulls inwards. That's like the fuse box that will pop. Now, if it goes inwards to the right, that tells us a lot of information about their inner emotions. That this is something related to like what they are thinking within themselves right now. So that's a really nice indication that, you know, what she was thinking about that emotion. We can see that the heart that popped, but most of her centers in that moment were still like, you know, pretty aligned.
Yes.
So now when we moved to her next scan, which was right after the session, and I scanned her, but she told me that she wasn't really like thinking about the emotion. So, you know, this was the scan that was right after. So as you see, these guys are starting to come back in, and, you know, these are wheels, right? So when we start to influence these energy centers, we're adding energy into those areas, and they start to fluctuate. So usually they go to the sides, either the right or to the left. When there's too much energy, I mean, you know, this could be like a resetting of the system. And this, you know, this is usually we see it with like a lot of different types of energy modalities, from biofield tuning to Reiki to crystal therapies, to like a lot of different things. Once they work on the energy centers and they add more energy into the system, then they start to kind of like go out, and then they start to come in, because their energy centers, they move like a pendulum. So a pendulum, if you look at it, it keeps on swinging to the right and the left. But once it gets stuck, it gets stuck either on the right or on the left. So now once we remove the blockage, then it starts to swing again. So now with the BioWeld, when we're scanning, is like we're taking a picture of that motion, of that swing. So then if it's coming more towards the center, then we can see that usually like after a session, when we do like right after, we can see that there's more, they're more out. And then usually like 10 minutes after, 15 minutes after, they start to come in and really like align this beautiful alignment. So that's what we saw with her. And then we told her to, okay, please think about your emotion again, and let's scan you one more time. So then as soon as she thought about the emotions, then you see the ones that were coming in, they started to kind of move back out again. So now we have a software that will measure the before and after that I have, you know, for research. We do a lot of research on these types of topics. So we have created a software that will go through all of the different features of the biofield, and we'll compare it from before to after.
I think Nima froze a little bit. Am I the one freezing, or
No, you're fine. I think he froze.
he
Yeah.
froze?
I think he
Alright.
froze. Yep.
Okay. Yes. So what you're looking at is the blue. It's the first time I see so colorful. Perhaps he has changed a little bit his software. But what you look at is the blue, and there are areas where the blue is a little bit disconnected. And so it's about this, where the energy is flowing and where it can be a little bit open or not flowing. All right, so Nima is disappeared here. Guess he's going to go back and forth. I think he will come back, but so in between, Christine, it was your first map session. How was it? Because you had zero explanation of any kind. Were you able to relax and follow the experience?
Yeah, it was really good, very calming. I liked that I put on the form that I liked the part where the superconscious creates a new scenario of the event that really helps reframe the entire thing and visualizing it in a different way. I really like that.
Yes, that was great. So you went from 9 to 1. And so when you're at the 1, is it still something there? Or sometimes we say 1 and it means 0, or sometimes it does mean that there is a little bit of something there still processing?
Yeah, I think it's more of a 0. I didn't know if you said between 1 and 10 or 0 and 10, so I put 1.
Yes.
But honestly, I feel like the reframing, the seeing it in a different light, I actually kind of took that as the new memory. And so I really feel like it's resolved.
Beautiful. So we had about 25 minutes. So it gives you a sense of how, this is just an introductory session, and I do the same every time because of research. So I have created a little script, and it's not adapted to individuals, but it shows how we can do mapping groups, that some of the strengths of map that I explained, because my other practitioners are here, that, but is that you don't have to talk about the event, so it's very private. It can be done in groups, and it's usually very gentle. Even though it might go up and down, but it doesn't last. And did you have the experience of the Google search? That means many other events came in. Did you, or sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, yes, I can connect the dots to the feelings of the event to other feelings. And so some of that did come up. Yeah.
Yes, beautiful. So that's what the superconscious does. It kind of connects the dots. It sometimes goes back in time really far. Did you have like a generational or some kind of other memories that were not in your life?
I only had one, and that's because I've had somebody do an Akashic reading for me about a trauma that I had in a past life, and so that came up for me as a similar feeling.
Oh.
That was the only one that came up though, that wasn't kind of in my lifetime.
All right, beautiful. Oh, Nima is back.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I don't know what happened. It just
You froze.
Yeah, you froze.
Okay, so if you look at the before and after here now, this was the image on the left is the before scan, and the image on the right is the after scan. So some of the visual effects that I see, do you guys see down here, like this whole area, this blue color down here?
Nice.
This area over here, this is more of it's related to the coronary vessels. Okay. Do you see that the blue color, how is that kind of like compiled together? It's kind of like a blob of blue that's like sign of stagnation in the system, right? But now on the after, you see, like if you're just sitting there, she didn't do any exercise, Now do you see how that's like breaking up? Like that blue is starting to break up and there's like more movement there. So that's a sign of movement of energy. And then when we come a little bit higher on the before, if you take a look on these areas, do you see how the energy is like broken up in this section? All these the red areas is passing through the blue. Those are all our energy disconnections in our system. And like, you know, the back of us, behind us, when you look at the biofield, I mean, you can pick up so much information from the biofield. It's you know, it's not just about our physical body and how like the energy is being emitted, but like our back is usually related to what? Is like, you know, they say that, you know, somebody stabbed you from the back, right? So the back is usually related to betrayal. That if somebody betrays us, then the energy in our back, if we maintain that emotion in our system, the energy in the back maintains to get distorted because we were keeping bringing those things like, you know, we were always like looking over our shoulders because like, you know, we're thinking somebody else at some time is going to pull the same thing, right? But now look at what happened. Do you see how much of that blue is, there's more connection and there's more flow there now? That's really cool to see. And that's why we saw that the blue down here got broken up because a lot of times, you know, this is related to our physical body. Like, you know, if our hip is like out of balance, or, you know, if there is something that a lot of people have like accidents or they have metals in their hips that causes, you know, some sort of a blockage for the flow of energy. But in your case, you know, that's very clear that this was more related to an emotion of maybe betrayal or something. Was that something that came up in your thought pattern?
Yeah, betrayal was a huge emotion that was a part of it. So, just the experiences where I was really young, spilled some ice cream on the floor. My siblings ran off into another room and I didn't want to be left alone. So I followed them. And then I got into really big trouble for my dad for not
Oh,
cleaning. And so the emotion, like the statement that I focused on was I didn't know. Like I was too young. I didn't know to clean it up. And then I felt betrayal for my siblings because they didn't stand up for me. And I just, you know, felt betrayal for my dad, didn't feel safe. So yeah, it was very much this feeling of betrayal, abandonment, kind of just unsafe, you know, just kind of like I was young. I didn't know, you know, there wasn't
yeah.
that. So
But
yeah,
see, it's
that is
those little
really
things
awesome.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, when we are a child and, you know, we experience something like that, that's like a huge thing for us, right? Like we get embarrassed. We're like, that's our entire world that, you know, the way that other kids are looking at us. But then when you're looking at it and going back as an adult, you're like, ah, like that wasn't a big deal.
Mhm.
And healing is about those aha moments. So once we can get to a moment that we're like, oh, that wasn't so bad, that does so much and in release of energy. And this is what we saw for you. So congratulations. That was beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
And now moving up, like you can see on the top of your head, you see the crown kind of like shooting out, has this like really a lot of energy, this like a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions, like just like circulating that area. But now we can see it's still there, but like this, see this red area down here that was like behind the blue, that went away and the blue kind of came down. It's like almost like a shuttle that was going off. And now it's just like, okay, let me sit back down. So that's kind of cool to see that over there. And as far as the rest of the system, kind of see similar patterns. I see more energy coming down in front of your face. Well, before we had these like breakages in these areas, energy was like dropping in those areas. And that's a sign of, you know, movement of energy. So when we have blockages of energy, then that's what happens. But now there's more energy coming through. There's more information there. So you must feel a lot more, you know, relaxed and, you know, maybe like even more creative. So that was really cool to see. And if you go look at the chakras, go ahead.
And at the bottom on the right side, like the entire right side on the left compared to the right, I mean, there is much more blue and smoothness when you
Down
look.
here, yes, as
Yeah.
well. This is more related to the cardiovascular system and the coronary
Yes.
vessels. So that we mentioned in the back, that was
Yes, but
there's more movement, but yeah, you can see more energy in the front as well. So that was a
yes,
good catch.
much more. Yes.
Colette, your eyes are becoming like a pro now. I love it.
All
So
right.
now going to the chakras and taking a look what happened there. So we see that before she was at 95%, and after she went to 91. And, that's very common. Like usually if, when there's things that are happening that you're dealing with, and right after, we scan you, then there's still fluctuation happening, but you're, right around, like you're within that norm area. So, but we still got to work on the heart. The heart is still a little bit, it came in more beforehand. It was a little bit further out, but the heart came in more. And now it causes like, some commotion, because the heart energy center is the most powerful center that we have, because that's like the center that our heavenly energies with our earthly energies are meeting at the heart center. So now when you're moving the heart is connected to all of these other centers. That's going to like start shaking them. So that's why we're seeing that more of a movement that went from especially the crown and the sacral. Those are like, if you look at that Kundalini picture that's connecting the chakras, that's kind of like how it's moving and going up. And that's kind of cool to see that here too. Okay, let's go to the next person. Any questions, Dane?
No, I just think this is so fascinating, and I'd love to like learn more about it. So I love the chakras.
Yes, I'm a bioworld educator and distributor. So if you guys are interested in technology and you want to learn how to do remote scans, I'll be more than happy to help you.
So let's try to get, perhaps Diane, was the first time you got map and you went down to 0 actually.
Yeah, that was really
Christine cool. Also, I think it's Christine.
Yeah, let's look at Kristen. So let's look at the before and the after here.
Christine went to 0. It was 7 to 0. Okay.
All right, let's go to the compares. So for Kristen, what I see is that, were you comfortable the way you were sitting, Kristen? Was your back and stuff like comfortable, or?
I'm comfortable, but but I'm sitting on a PEMF mat and it was getting really warm, but I didn't want to move while we were doing it. So yeah, there were some points where I was like, I should move.
Is the mat on right now while you're doing the session?
I turned it off. I turned it off once we stopped the session.
Okay, cool. So what I see on the lower and the mid back, when we look here, where's my tool?
So much.
There we go. So when we look, you see a lot more, like when you look at the lower back and the entire spine in that area. See, before, you had a lot of shootout here. And remember before we looked at the hip area that we have this disconnection right there.
Yep.
So now you see that there's less movement going up, but now you can see here that they're more connected. We don't have as many, like, you see these shootouts?
Yeah.
Those are like those emotions that you were feeling. That's like, it's releasing from the system. But now we can see that like almost like kind of like that perfect example of the gopher and putting the pots and going and filling it back up and smoothing, kind of like you can see it right here. That's like the perfect example. Do you see like the holes that are happening like within the emotional body? And then now here you can see how it was just like pushed together and come back together. That's really cool. So now let's move up a little bit through the back of the neck. I see a little bit more separation here. That's why I was asking you, like, how was your neck during the process? Maybe it was a little bit like your neck was kind of like blocked a little bit.
Yep.
That could have influenced it a little bit there. Coming towards the top of the head, I see a lot more energy here now. Do you see all this blue that's coming together here? While it was a lot lower here, it was a dip there. Now we see that area is coming in and filling in, because now we have more flow, that the energy is moving now. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome. And going to the front of the face, see, I'm seeing more energy here now compared to before. And that's, again, those are the emotions, everything that's kind of like we're stirring the pot, and like everything that's coming up. We can see that there's a lot of fluctuations there, but there's a lot more energy there, and it's more connected. See, like here, when we're seeing the shootouts there's like a shootout and then it drops, and then there's some drops in here. But now here is more coming together. So I see some movements there. This area looks like It's very similar. I mean, there's some little bit of movement there, but very similar. And then here again, we can see that that blob of blue that we had here, now it's kind of like breaking up, and you see these like shooting out. So those are like the emotions that are getting released from the system.
Hmm.
So that's really cool to see that. Let's look at your chakras. So you're at 93, you went to 94%. So we're able to, the crown came in perfect. That was really good. Remember how we were having a
Yeah.
conversation on the crown? So that was perfect, brought that in. You're really good on your third eye and your throat. So your like intuition is dead on. So you should really like trust your intuition. The heart we still got to work on because see, it's still moving. So it still like went out a little bit. But
Yeah.
again, you know, sometimes like when you're hitting that emotion and it pushes out, and then after like a few moments, like 10, 15 minutes, it starts to come back in. So that's normal to see that. But I would love to see a few more scans. I'm gonna see you on Wednesday, so then you know we can see like how that's gonna really be.
Yeah.
That's it. So that was good. And then you see the sacral. The
Mhm.
sacral again, you know, when we see something goes from one side on completely to the other side, that's the side of the shift. That's the energy shift. That something happens, that shift happens. And it's usually perfectly like symmetrical. So that's, I like to see that. That means that you went from more of like, you know, kind of like frustration and anger that you're holding within. And now
Yeah.
you're just kind of like releasing that.
Yeah.
And now that's why that movement is happening there. So that's really good to see that. And yeah, very nice. And if you look at your stress levels, see before, you were at 398. You were kind of like very high when you were thinking about the emotion on the kind of like the anxiety zone almost. But now after you're still in the increased zone, but you know, you're a lot more manageable, a lot more optimal. Ideally, I want you to be between 2 and 3. That's
Right.
what we want you to be. But energy maintained and the organ disbalance, that's like the percentages of how your system is fluctuating. That came to very, very nice balance there as well. So that's really nice to see that almost came to 0, which is like perfect optimal for your organ disbalance percentage.
Nice.
But there's some fluctuations that are happening in your autonomic nervous system right now. Before, only 8 systems were affected. Now you have 12 systems that are fluctuating. So they're processing a lot of information. And again, that's normal. Make sure you drink some water tonight, and hot bath would be really nice to sea salt, sweat out,
Yep.
get all the emotions that we just you know made loose in the system, and have it go to the water, and just envision it with your intention that you're just flushing it down the drain as you're letting the water
Okay.
go, and that becomes
Alright.
very important. Okay, do we want to go over one more?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see who wants
Clear
to have.
these, and then let's see. I had
Beneath.
let's do beneath. So that was her before. Okay, so taking a look here, the first thing that's kind of like grabs my attention is the little bit of the movement around here in the hip area. Do you see these dark lines that were here, like here and almost here?
Yeah.
Now they're gone. And then moving up, we can see that it's very similar happening coming to the top and down. And then here we had to see there's more of this overactivity that's happening here. But we see that there's a little bit less on this side. But the major difference I see is over here. This is the urogenital system. Okay, do you see the level of shootout there, and then now compare it to here? So that was a lot of emotion that got released. And
Yeah.
I believe that's more related to our sacral. Yeah, it has to be the sacral. Let me take a look at their chakras. I want to see how they fluctuated. Because your chakras are pretty dead on. Namaste. So yeah, that's what I see. So that's like a a lot of fear, frustration, those type of feelings that we usually like hold on to in those areas that I can see, like, you know, it became a lot less for you. If we go here, these drawings, and we look at this area, before was 905. If you look at the bottom of the screen, we can look at energy values on the graph. So it tells us, you know, when I'm pointing to that area, the highlighted section, this is that's a urogenital system. And it tells us that the energy in joules is 9.05 there. So ideally, we want to be between 4 and 6. That's the optimal range of energy to be moving through our system. So 9 is a lot higher than 6. So, you know, that means that, you know, we have to work on that system. But now we want to take a look at the after and see it went down to 782. It's still over the range that, you know, we would like it to be. But that's a lot of energy that got released. Was the emotions more related to like safety and security, or was it more related to anger and frustration? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
There was anger and related to stability as well. Like it was a relationship breakup. So that was the lot was happening at that time. So I can't pinpoint an exact emotion, but still very clear.
Okay, so a series of emotions. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at your chakras. You see that before you were at 95% and you maintained the 95%. So I don't see that much fluctuations here. What was your number before and after when that Venusian scanned you?
Before it was 8, and after I'm more of 1 and 0.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. So yeah, and let me look at your stress levels here. Yeah, they maintain pretty much the same. So yeah, I have to spend a little bit more time with Nushin to work on her remote scans, so we can head it more directly, because I feel like this didn't really have an effect of what you were going through.
Yeah, it was a heavy subject for me, but it didn't look like that.
Okay. So yes, well, Dr. Nushin, please come to the meetings that we have on the training meetings for practitioners, so I can spend a little bit more time with you on the remote scans. But overall, the ones that I did myself, I mean, we saw that there was a huge shift of energy that we could really like see the differences of, you know, and like I can really pinpoint it exactly with the emotion of the person, and we get confirmation. So coming to, let's do one more that I did. So I just want to make sure that, and Joanne was the next one. So let's go and add Joanne.
We did Jody. We did.
I'm sorry, Judy. I put you in here as Joanne because you put Joanne in the text, but I know.
I think we did it, wasn't it?
Okay, so looking at her system, we can see that there's some fluctuations that are happening down. This is over here, this is our immune system, and this is the nervous system here. So on the before, I see that there was like more energy there, but on the after, I see that there's it's like her nervous system got really influenced. So like that energy in the nervous system got depleted because of, you know, like going to that emotion and like revisiting it. It really affected her nervous system. So moving up, I see the coronary vessels are pretty much the same there. I see a little bit more of a shootout here now on the after. And on the before, I mean, we see it that it was there when she was thinking about it. We can see that the red spot is like very severe, like emotions. Those are like a very high intensity photons. So when we look here, it's almost like it was coming up. And then now you see it's almost like it's releasing the system. Do you see it's separating, almost like a shuttle that's like departing from, you know, the mothership? Do you see that's like moving out? That's how we see emotions releasing the system. So it's like she was holding it on, she brought it up in the before, she like really compiled it, and she had these, you know, emotions that got together. And then on the after, it's just we can see that she was like, okay, I'm letting you go. And that's how it's still affecting her, of course, but now I would love to see, like, tomorrow, like how her information, her energy is going to be. And moving up now, we can see a little bit more disconnection throughout it's very similar, but I see a little bit less energy on this side now. See, there's more blue moving through here, but now really here, there's more, like, I see some disconnection. So I feel like that was related to that. Could be either that or maybe the place that she was sitting while we were doing the session, that she put a little bit of pressure on her spine or her hips. So then that could definitely, like, influence that as well. So, two different ways we're influencing energy, right? By our posture, by our emotions. So there's a lot of things that can be a factor for what we are looking at. So how were you comfortable, Jody, when you were sitting there during the event, during the session?
I was, but my back was hurting a little bit when I was having the session, so I kept sort of moving a little bit. Yeah.
Well, was it related to an emotion that you were releasing that was maybe
So,
related to your safety and
yes, I
security?
felt the sharp pain in my back at the side, yeah. On
Was the emotion that you were dealing with related to your safety and security?
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
So
I
that makes
felt feel
sense.
safe
That's
in
on
the
both
gym.
ends that we're getting the confirmation that it was an emotional release and, physically she was a little bit uncomfortable when she was sitting there. So that's why we're seeing that fluctuation that's more on the after scan. Okay. So now moving up, the next thing I see, look at the huge shootout. This is like almost like a volcano is starting to erupt, right? Like we got this a lot of energy just coming to the top of the head. It's ready to just like shoot out there. Now, after you can see that, and this is our endocrine system. Like that is like our hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is the master CEO of hormone production in our system. So if we have that much of energy that's going to the hypothalamus, then like you bet you're gonna have your hormones that are gonna be like really like high up in the system. Are you taking any medications for your hormones or anything?
No, I'm going through menopause, so just sort of like trying to balance everything at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now you see how powerful that effect was of just releasing those emotions and being able to, like, ground ourselves. Now you can see that like even you were able to control your own endocrine system and bring your hypothalamus to more of a balance. That's powerful. With the power of our intention and our thoughts. That's how powerful we are, and that's how we can influence our own systems. So moving down, I can see a lot more, like, better formation down here now. And this is like the cardiovascular system, the coronary vessels, those areas. We see a lot more energy that came down in those areas now. You see? So that's what I like to see. And then if you look overall, look at the energy that's moving from here to here. Do you see how it's like jaggedy and stuff, like, not really like moving coherently? But now look here. See how much nicer that's flowing? How much more coherent it is? So that's what I love to see. And let's go to your chakras. I want to see what happened there. Namaste. Oh my God, look at that. Your centers are pretty awesome. So you're at 94%, and you went to 92%. So there's a little bit of a movement there, but that 2% is really nothing. So what I like to see is that the heart came in more, but then the heart is like, your feeling of emotions and self-love, like that came out more to the center. But now, like, there's a little bit of a fear for some reason, like emotions of fear that got influenced in the system. And that's the solar plexus. So now you're like, it's like you're like, okay, I'm trusting, I'm giving, but at the same time you have a little bit of doubt in the in the back of it. So you gotta let that go, and you gotta have like complete faith in the process, and that's how you can really just empower. You're already like 95% there. So yeah. So just work on that a little bit, let go of that fear, have more like trust and faith in yourself, that with the energy that you're generating for yourself, that you have the power to control and to bring to yourself joy in life, and to be able to really, like, bring that zest back to your reality. So I love it. Let's get your stress levels are influenced a little bit, not too much. Energy is kind of maintained. And yeah, there was more fluctuations that happen in the autonomic nervous system. But that was a pretty good visualizations. Any questions for me?
Amazing. Absolutely
Awesome.
amazing. Yeah, I did feel a lot of shifts when I was having the map session. And it was more energy. It felt like more energy swirling around. But then I was also releasing through yawning as well. I couldn't stop yawning. So I actually started to feel my nervous system go down as well when that happens. So it's quite nice.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice.
Yes.
That's awesome. I see Kristen is yawning too. I think everybody's kind of more relaxed now, and you're gonna have a great sleep tonight.
Yes. Wow. Thank you everyone for joining and joining the research today. I really appreciate that. Nima, can you tell me how many people do we have, like uniques we have? So we
Right
might do
now,
another one or two sessions, or are we almost
I think at
done?
24, so we are 3 more, 27. And I think we did with Diane, we did a few. So I think we're right at 30 something right now.
Yes. So Diane, yes, we did a few and they are not included yet in your. So we have to decide if we do one more session like that, I think, and then we'll be all set and we'll have enough for the research.
Yes.
What you did with Diane, you included it, so it should be in there.
Yeah, I'm looking there to see. I don't remember if you added it on that day or not, but I'll go back and I'll add it in. Right now we have, let me see, for map, 28 people. Yes, so I've already added those in there. So with today, we're at 32.
Yes, so we
Yes.
passed the cap. So I
Yeah,
think
we're
what
trying to hit the 30, so that was really good.
yes, so I think we'll do one more session just to conclude. There are other mappers who wanted to join. So if you are available next Tuesday,
I should be.
right? So just confirm because then we can invite another 3 or 4, and then it will be done. I think we'll be done with the research
Yeah.
and then we can always do like my practitioners. Actually, they can come to the light workers and do perhaps a session a month or something, an introduction or a regular session, for the members. But at least the research will be done, and we might just so do one more time so we make sure we have enough. And after that, we'll meet and get the results going. Find out
Yes,
what's
absolutely.
what's
So that'd be really awesome to kind of like get everything together and finalize that research.
Yes, we're so close, I think we have passed the cap, but I just want to make sure. So next week, plus there are very much a lot of interest in maps, so I want them to have a chance to come and see your technology.
And
Also.
we'll do, I wanted to introduce GaiaPractitioners.com to all of our map practitioners here. So what we're doing with Colette is we're creating this connection between our bio practitioners and the map practitioners, because we have a lot of bio practitioners that are like this is our network in the States. So we have a lot of practitioners, especially on the East Coast. So then what we're doing is that they do bio scans, and then for people that have emotional issues, then we would love to have them connected to map practitioners so you guys can continue helping them. And that becomes one of the offerings for the GaiaHealers network. So if you guys go to GaiaPractitioners.com, you can register on here as a practitioner. It's all free. You don't have to pay anything for it, and we'll activate you in here, and we start to kind of like create those connections and connecting our practitioners to you guys.
Yes, so Diane is
Thank
the
you so
one.
much for your attention. Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll let you know more information. If you want anything, you can ask Diane. Diane Ferguson. She's the one setting up the CRM system, connecting GaiaHealers to
Yes, the vision is that right now, like for the practitioners that we have within our network, we create a landing page for them that's customized for their bioable scans. So now what we're doing with Diane is we're creating the same type of information and web pages and like appointment booking systems for all of the MAP practitioners. And what we're creating for you is a customer relation management system. So that once we're sending you a lot of customers and you have hundreds of customers, hopefully very soon, that you need to have a system to be able to kind of like manage communications. So with our CRM, you can we're automating all of the emails that you need to send out to your customers, for example, to invite them to come to book a meeting with you, or all the text messages you have access to, like creating your own calendars and automate text message reminders, like review text messages to really pop your business. So we're doing a lot of amazing work to build a very powerful automated system for you guys. So then connecting it to here as soon as we are going to market the entire platform. So then when people book appointments, then immediately it starts to like send them emails and start thanking them for booking an appointment with you, and then remind you and create you a task and all of that shabam. So we're putting in a package for you. So Diane will be in touch with you guys. She'll be educating you guys more about when that's more solid and ready. It's been taking a lot of work, but it's getting there. It's almost there.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Nima. All right, everyone. So I think we are all set for today. It was exciting to have you all here, and thank you, Nima, for your time and being part of that. And so next week we should have perhaps the last session for research next week, and we're going to bring a few more practitioners, and then we'll be able to publish our first paper with Nima.
That's right. It's going to be exciting. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We can't wait for it.
Yeah, so thank you for participating, and we'll see you on the road. I mean, you can always come back, but you won't be part
Yeah,
of
we're going to continue. We
No.
would love so much the MAP sessions. We're going to have maybe different practitioners come in so different people can get to know them. That
Yes.
way it helps to like, gain more clients for yourself. And yeah, that'd be a beautiful way of, helping more people within our network as well.
Yes. So after that, Tuesday, after that, we'll open it to the practitioners.
Yes, that's right.
All right.
Thank you,
well,
everyone. Thank you again. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take
Thank
care.
you.